We are back with a brand new edition of Virtue and Vice, brand of wrestling, right here on the BigVitoBrand.com. And I am Virtue, being joined by my remarkable co-host, the remarkable Robbie Vice. What's up?
Man, I am remarkable, and today's a good day. I think it's raining like it's the end of the world outside. I'm not sure what's going on, but we are here. We have some wrestling to talk about, some huge disappointments for this Sunday, and I'm sure you want to talk all about it. So why don't you just lead us off, man? Where are we going to start off today?
All right, before we start, we're actually using Skype now, right? Because YouTube and Google finally screwed things up on Hangouts. So you might not get the back and forth. I think this is recording with us next to each other, back to back. So
oh my God.
It might be a brand new look. So we'll see how you guys like it.
Are you going to be on my left or right? Should I glare this way?
I won't know until the recording's done. But nonetheless, hopefully you guys like it, and gals. Here we go. This is really what I want to talk about. So I'm going to SummerSlam weekend in Toronto, right, with the No DQ crew. The No DQ, did I say No DQ crew? That's weird. That should be a shirt, by the way. Maybe it is.
It should be a shirt.
But here we are. So first of all, good old Davey boy, our Meltzer. You know me and Meltzer, we go way back, a couple Twitter rants back in the day. So he got his dirt right on Ziggler and Goldberg, right? That swerve happened. It's going to happen. And he also reported around the same time that it was going to be Daniel Bryan that was behind these attacks on Roman Reigns. And this was a week ago.
Right.
Well, they got cold feet because they're not going to do this match. Now, here we are going into SummerSlam, the biggest show of the summer, the number 2 show to WrestleMania for WWE. Yeah. I mean, some people might think Royal Rumble is, but no, SummerSlam always kind of has been. And Roman Reigns doesn't have a match. Now, so I'm outraged at WWE. You bring Roman back who beat cancer, and you are freaking just coasting with him in these feuds that aren't really significant, no title scene. I get that, right? Maybe he's got to get himself back to 100%, not 80%, from going through his treatments. But they could have had something here for a match for WrestleMania or for SummerSlam, and maybe they'll still do an impromptu Eric Rowan versus Roman Reigns. That'll end with Bryan coming out and a beatdown on Roman, and they're going to continue it. Yeah, but I'm going to Toronto, and right now Roman's not on the card. And I'm a big Roman fan, right? I admit that. And I'm pissed. And the fact, knowing that they're going to be doing something most likely with Daniel Bryan, but they're kind of stepping back so they can let this weird, I'm trying to kill you, but not kill you to get your attention type angle, which is clearly what's developing. They want more time for that to develop. Well, here's a tip, Rob. If they knew it for a month ago when Daniel Bryan came out and had this big announcement, but he didn't make it because they didn't know what the hell they were doing with him. If they would have started this angle that night, we'd have a Daniel Bryan and Roman Reigns match at SummerSlam, which that match they had a few years ago at Fastlane was fantastic. One of the best matches of the year.
Oh, that's right.
Because Daniel Bryan is awesome. He can make your 5 moves of doom Roman Reigns, who does have great bumps and stuff in his matches, but he can make Roman appeal to the people that don't like Roman because Daniel Bryan is that good. What's your take on this? I'm pissed. I'm going there. I paid a ticket, and I don't get to see an official match. Now, granted, something might happen, but I want to know I wanted to predict the match. I wanted to talk about it. And right now, I got nothing. I'm pissed at WWE for doing this.
I don't really understand. This looks to me like it's going to be one of those, they're going to announce it on WWE.com or Twitter, maybe a couple days before the event. But yeah, this is a huge ball drop because at this point, we have nothing for arguably 2 of the biggest stars in the company, which is Daniel Bryan and Roman Reigns.
At SummerSlam.
At SummerSlam. We're not talking about Payback. We're not talking about whatever the hell pay-per-view I saw in Cleveland a few months ago. Right. What is going on? This is not Fastlane. This is SummerSlam. This is the midpoint. This is WrestleMania in the summertime, where you have the biggest stars of stars. You have celebrity guests. You have The Rock show up if you can. And now you're going to leave 2 of your biggest people off the card. I don't understand. Yes, they will have an angle at SummerSlam, but the fact that we can't sit here and talk about it and predict it, it's
we're going to give our theories on what's going to happen here in a minute.
And I'm fine with that.
But I'm not satisfied with that because, and I know there's a lot of matches on the card, but I mean, we're conditioned at big events like this. The SummerSlam is going to go on 5-6 hours, right? Yeah, or over 4 longer, versus traditionally 3 hours back in the day. I want the match. I want people around me to like, oh, Roman sucks, so I can get in their face. F you, Roman's the best. And WWE's letting me down.
Yeah. What are you going to do with your Roman Reigns sign?
that's the thing. I mean, I can have it ready, but like for what? An angle? I mean, that's all that they're going to have. At best, an impromptu match with Rowan. Like, before I give my take, what do you think they might do with these group of characters that are supposedly involved with this angle? And do you think Daniel Bryan is going to create a faction like I think he should build a faction, not just him and Rowan, but whatever. What do you think they're going to do with this?
Honestly, with Vince rewriting shows 2 hours prior, I have no godly idea what they're going to do. Now, if I'm going to predict something, I'm going to say a best case and a worst case scenario. Best case scenario is they have something come out and they have a segment or a storyline progress at the beginning of SummerSlam where Roman is backstage and he sees footage, right? And he's pissed and he demands a match with Rowan or Daniel Bryan or whoever, and they have a good match and everyone can be happy. And then after the match, we can have maybe further progression, like you said, a storyline or something to that effect. Worst case scenario, they're going to be walking in the back filming Roman Reigns and something's going to happen to him. And this time he's going to be legitimately hurt and not able to compete. And then you're going to have one of the biggest events of the year without arguably the biggest star and the best feel-good story of the year. So
you want an SB and he's not
right.
He doesn't. I understand they're not putting him in the title picture right now.
He can beat cancer, but he cannot beat WWE's terrible writing.
But the problem is these are failed. So how are they going to make? If it is Rowan and not Bryan put Rowan up to it, right? Because that's Bryan's henchman.
Right.
What are they going to explain? How are they going to explain the failures? Like, oh, well, we wanted to send you a message, but ultimately I really want to take you out. Not that you, but like, because right now, if Rowan is behind his attacks, he looks like a doofus for not getting the job done. He used scaffolding and whatever, lighting equipment and a car, okay, which is more or less attempted homicide.
Was that one of the Usos driving by chance, you think?
Oh, God. Well, that's the big thing. That's sad when that's the big thing on the internet from this because they can't properly build the angle.
Right.
Okay? So if they would have started this a month ago, we'd be having Daniel Bryan versus Roman Reigns. And guess what? You don't have to end it at SummerSlam. You could have had Daniel go over. That's when you could have had maybe Rowan tried to come out and help him, and Roman Superman punched him. And then guess what? A new member of Bryan's Earth movement. Maybe they bring Harper back. Instead of letting him sit at home, they actually bring the guy back and put him in a hot angle. And you add something to that, and then they beat Roman dirty to continue the saga. I would have been ecstatic with that. And it could have been anybody. It could have been Buddy Murphy could join it. I don't care who it is. But here we are now. I'm going to be at SummerSlam, and I'm going to wonder, are we going to get the backstage segment like you said where he gets hurt, and he doesn't even walk out to the crowd? Or like I think all of a sudden he does get a match with Rowan, right? So we're going to see the Roman entrance. Rowan comes out. And then guess what? It's like 4 minutes because Daniel Bryan comes out and ends in a DQ and a beatdown on Roman. And it's just a quick filler. That to me is what I think is going to happen. And Rowan doesn't technically lose. But I can't believe Daniel Bryan and Roman Reigns are not on the card. And like Daniel Bryan, they let Kofi beat him and they're not doing anything with him. Wasn't it a big deal when he came back from his career retirement that we never thought he'd wrestle again?
Apparently not. Apparently it doesn't matter at all. I mean, it's not good enough to be on. He's not even good enough to be on the pre-show at this point. What does that? I don't know. It blows my mind.
Well, we're gonna piggyback this conversation, right? So our thumbnails, obviously Roman shaking hands with Daniel Bryan, because to me this is like Wade Keller booking this crap, and at the end they're probably gonna be friends, right? And a Vince Russo swerve, Roman and Daniel Bryan create a new faction in their heels. Oh, wait, not going to happen. But let's piggyback off of this. The other story Meltzer did get right, and technically he could say he was right with this, and Vince changed direction. Ziggler is facing Goldberg, so they used HBK as a decoy.
Yeah.
And they used The Miz as a decoy. So, like The Miz, who's there all the time, right? And he does a hell of a job with his gimmick. Better heel than babyface. He's got the Miz and Mrs. show. You want to get him out there. He's not even on the SummerSlam card, and they're doing it the night after on Raw. Just so Goldberg can come out and squash Ziggler so people forget about what happened in Saudi Arabia with The Undertaker. I'm outraged about this, too. Go ahead, man. Guys, my blood vessels are going to pop.
Yeah, look, I can't even get mad about this anymore. I have been sick of Goldberg since the late 90s. I've never bought into it. I don't care about him. I think he's one-dimensional, boring, and he blows up. And like I said on the last review that we did, at least they gave him an opponent that he's physically capable of delivering the jackhammer to this time.
But like, why
are they giving him a spot?
Why do they feel like if he's gonna be there, if it's just so he can squash Ziggler's gonna make Goldberg look like $1 million, whether it's 30 seconds or 5 minutes. It's not gonna go longer than that because Goldberg gets blown up. But they're clearly trying to make people. That's why they brought Undertaker back for that tag shit. They want people to forget about that side. They got their money from Saudi Arabia. It was a horrible outcome in match.
Damage control,
they just want people to forget that, well, that wasn't their last match. Goldberg had this epic moment beating up Ziggler, and Undertaker came back with Roman Reigns and had a great tag match.
With no build-up, too. He just had some offhand comments about Goldberg, and now Goldberg's going to come headbutt a door and beat the shit out of Ziggler.
But the hottest angles, though, or like what's happened. I know you don't like Matt Riddle.
I don't.
But dude, he's getting Jericho to respond to him. Now, Jericho's a veteran. Jericho's obviously responding to a competitor because one day it could be money, right? They could be in the same promotion. Jericho gets it. He knows it. And I think a lot of people think Matt Riddle's first of all, if you're doing this stuff as a wrestler, you're a worker. You're on social media. You're acting your gimmick. And even if this is who he really is, he's doing it online. He's working the fans, and any wrestler that responds back to it, like a Jericho, they're working the fans too. And it's brilliant because it sets up, it puts the seeds out there, it plants the seeds for future business. I'll tell you, if there was a better time for Matt Riddle to show up, you got Lesnar and Goldberg on these cards. Why not now? I mean, if he's supposed to be that shoot fighter guy, right? Why not now?
I'll tell you what, I will cheer for Mr. Riddle under one condition. I don't care if he keeps the dumb surfer bro gimmick. I don't care if he keeps his stupid hair or his headband. Put some boots on because you're going to break your toe, and I don't want to see it because it's going to gross me out, and I'm going to hate you forever. So if you put some shoes on, I'm going to be fine. That's what I get anxiety.
In UFC, do they wrestle barefoot?
They also don't do a lot of the stuff they do in the WWE ring. Yeah, they usually go barefoot.
That's probably why. I mean, look at Umaga. Look at some of the Samoans.
And a lot of them have fucked up, messed up feet.
Oh, that's all right. We can say. I don't think Noel's going to bleep that out.
Okay,
but
that's fine.
I mean, don't get me wrong. SummerSlam. I wanted to be on the damn prediction show with you, right? Technical difficulties, but nonetheless, we both have content on NoDQ.com. 2 different videos, so you got to watch them both, people, because Rob's leading one
video. I have to.
Rob's leading one video, and I'm leading the other. So that's what people like him and I do. That's what greatness does. We both have to lead, right? So that I understand that fate's why that happened. But I'm looking at your
review video, though. Is that going to be up soon? Because I'm curious what you think about these things.
Oh, yeah, it's a good one. We had some fun. And the professor's on there, the West Coast professor. But here's the deal. The 10 matches on SummerSlam. What's your top 2? Because clearly one of mine's not even happening now. And I would have been okay with Miz and Ziggler too, but Goldberg squash match. So are you even looking forward to anything?
One? I mean, Trish Stratus, I'm excited to see her perform because she's timeless, and I think that could be a fun, interesting thing. No, both the title matches I think are throwaway. I don't think Kofi's dropping his belt. I think Seth,
unbelievable, dude.
Yeah,
he can't lose now. A guy that won 50% of his matches through 11 years can't lose now.
Right. I don't think Seth Rollins is winning his title. I think they're going to write him off TV via injury, and I'm just not excited for either one of these matches.
Good point on Rollins. Do you think that's the cool that real life heat that he kind of has?
Yeah, and that's what I said in my video. This was something I talked about. Is he's been saying all the wrong things. His PR guy needs fired, and they just need to lock him away for 2 months and let people forget about it. So I think they're gonna have Lesnar absolutely massacre this kid, and he's gonna be off TV for a while this all cools down. And I think that'll be better for Becky as well.
So I'm trying to look forward to something. It's going to be cool to see how Bray does this thing with Finn Balor.
That's right.
How's his entrance? Obviously it's not Demon Finn Balor, and Finn's supposedly taking time off. So I suspect that he's going to lose. And then down the road, when Finn comes back, there's an angle: Demon Balor versus the Fiend.
Minds think alike, my friend. That's exactly.
So you're going to watch the video, and you're going to think you're listening to yourself talk.
I know, right?
I know it. But another thing I am looking forward to, because I'm in Toronto, and the way I roll, and I don't have Roman to get behind, is Charlotte Flair all the way. There's no point. I will be throwing a temper tantrum, and Aaron Rift will be recording it if Trish wins.
Who did you? Well, just so you know,
I'm going to tell you here. If Trish wins, I'm going to be throwing a temper tantrum. I don't give a shit if it's in Toronto. Okay, Charlotte Flair, you're going to be challenging your daddy's reigns one day, right? They're going to do that at some point. She's got so much time left on her career, like 5 years of being dominant at WWE. There's no point in Trish coming back for any feel-good moment in Toronto. And like Jeff Meacham said, Trish had her feel-good moment at a WrestleMania when she beat Lita, okay? Or whatever event that was. It was in Toronto. I think it was in Toronto. So Charlotte Flair needs to win this match. She needs to win this match, and I need to have my moment when everybody around me is pissed, like when I cheer for Roman, and I need to maybe get thrown out. And I'm not going to get thrown out because nobody – dude, I was in Chicago chanting pro Roman and Jinder, and not one of those people came up to me. It's not a college football game.
Yeah, you're not at a Raiders game.
I'm safe. But
so
that's what I got to literally now. Charlotte has to be my number one. And I
got bad news for you, buddy. I don't think she's going over that match.
But to me, I think she should. I'm not saying, I picked.
Oh, I'm not saying she shouldn't. I'm just saying that
she's winning because I really wanted to win that bad, and I don't care about some point predictions.
Right.
Baby's probably going to do the feel good shit, right?
I think it's going to be my cat is massacring my blinds. I think it's going to be a DQ finish. I think there's going to be interference from whoever Charlotte's going to feud with next is going to interfere in the match and cost Charlotte the victory there.
But that's not like getting beat clean, though.
I don't think she's going to lose clean.
If she loses clean, I'll be like, what?
But that's the same thing as the Goldberg thing. Why do we need these legends from the Attitude Era coming back and just destroying current talent?
Well, why is Charlotte not going after her title, like a title? The way she lost at WrestleMania, and now she has no interest in any major championship, right? That
doesn't fit her character at all. Doesn't fit her character.
Nope, and that's BS. So, but I don't know. I have to find something. I'm just so perturbed that right now, I would have at least been somewhat okay if last night.
Drew Gulak, you got to be looking forward to the Gulak.
I do like Drew Gulak, but I really want to see Big Cass, man. He is, dude. You tell me Enzo's getting back in the ring, dude. These guys are training again. Yeah. Okay, so that tells me people are talking to him now. Is it AEW? Are they going to finally land in Ring of Honor after doing that thing at Madison Square Garden? Or is WWE calling them back? Dude, these guys, seriously, somebody, they're a draw. They've proven sold merch on WWE Shop, okay? That's proven, right? AEW's getting a TV show. They're going to be selling merch. WWE's probably missing their merch sales. You tell me they're not going to land somewhere, okay?
I would love to see Big Cass as a monster heel with Enzo as his mouthpiece. Yes. I think that is the golden goose. I think AEW is the perfect landing spot for them.
But, nonetheless, I thought for sure I could at least have been content to a point if they would have said SmackDown, at the end of SmackDown, oh, it's going to be Roman Reigns and Eric Rowan. We'll find out, they'll settle this score. But no, we can't even have that. No. And that's ridiculous. And even that, I'm grasping for things here. But, I'm pissed at WWE because I'm staying there.
That's a lot of money to go to Toronto, right?
I'm driving a rental car, right? I'm Mazda. I'm a Hyundai driver, so I have a nice Mazda rental car. I'm staying at a hotel called The Bond, downtown Toronto, and I don't get to see Roman Reigns guaranteed in a match. To me, that's BS. Call me the Roman Mark. I don't care, but dude. I'm all in with this guy the last 3 years, and I'm going to a major event, and he's not going to be there. He could, but he's not.
But he could not be. Yeah.
I'm wondering. I'm going to be wondering. And come on, don't tell me, it's good to wonder, Virtue. Yeah, for a week-to-week TV, not for a major event.
Not for a $1,000 trip.
Yeah.
Well, let me circle back to something you talked about earlier. Do you think they're going to hit it on Bray Wyatt's entrance, or is it going to be cheesy and stupid? Because I'm concerned. If he had a lot of say in this and he has creative control over his entrance, I think it's going to be brilliant. I'm nervous that it's going to be kooky. I'm nervous that it's going to be this kind of lame. So
I think do this. I think his entrance for the time being, and I hope he has a really cool entrance where he walks out. Yeah. I think his opponent's going to come into the ring, and that's when that kooky sounds and lights go out, and his entrance is him just appearing in the ring, and it's dark and you don't see him. That like he's been doing when he does the mandible claws.
I'd be okay
That's
with
what
that.
I think's going to happen. But then he'll be standing in his corner just waiting for the bell to ring. I think we're going to get something like that.
Is he going to wrestle in that mask, you think?
That mask, a lot of people were saying, like, how can you wrestle in that mask? I think it's no different than a lucha mask. He had that specially made, several of them. I bet you it's really light fitting, and he can see and breathe out of it because it was a custom job. It wasn't no cheapo. So I think he can. I think he will be able to wrestle in it.
I would love for him to have that old Mankind thing because, Mankind had 2 different musics. He had his sad or his scary music that he intro, but when he won, it was like that childlike,
yes,
it was like a piano. It was like something where and he looked so happy, and it was I loved that, and I would love to see Bray if he wins just to take the mask off and start doing his happy-go-lucky stuff again after just
that would massacring. Be great. You know what? Maybe that'll be something I can add on the really want to see list.
There you go, buddy.
That's it. We got our 20 minutes. I'm excited. I ranted. I raved. So let's
feel better now. Get it off your chest.
Take it home, man. What do you got?
You guys can follow me on Twitter, and I actually have an updated Twitter handle. You can follow me at NoDQVice. Very simple.
To grow hair. When's the last time you had hair? This is this week in wrestling history. Was it this week in 1982 or really? 1982 is the last time you had hair. What was your go-to hairstyle?
Pushback style.
Oh, so you had the pompadour pushback kind of deal?
You've seen the pictures, don't you remember?
Well, no, you told me you had other hair. You told me you had bleach blonde mohawk, and didn't you have a perm?
I was later on in my adulthood.
You had a perm? Vito had a perm. And if you want to see Vito get another perm, tweet us. I would like to see you with the perm. Actually, I think what I'm going to do is this area right here in between us is going to have different pictures of you with different hairstyles while we're discussing it right here. There'll be some rotating styles. So if you guys think Vito should grow some hair, let us know. You don't want to miss all the action. Check us out on twitch.tv/The Big Vito Brand.
I'ma get more shine in a little bit soon as I hit the stage. Applause, I'm hearing it. Whether it's black stars, black hearts, I'm feeling it. Fucking none of them whip it like I do.
Vape Supply Plus in Port Richey, Florida is your place to go. One-stop vape shop, CBD, devices, mods, and more. 400 flavors, 30 brands. Vape Supply Plus, Port Richey, Florida.